So anyway, I made a new record with Chris Morrissey and Josh Dion called Dream Dictionary. And a guitar player was kind enough to write about it. I think it's coming out in January or something. And, it was a really fun record to make because I met Josh and Chris. And the second gig, I knew I wanted to record a record with these guys because we really have a great chemistry. And I know that sounds, I don't know if that's tired or everybody says that, but I swear it felt like I haven't felt chemistry. And I've played with great musicians who create chemistry instantly. They just walk in the room and you feel a chemistry. But since the 10-Gallon Cat's like this thing where you feel like there's another person. Like a lot of times I'll think somebody's missing. And I think I've always felt that with a band with real chemistry. There's like a spirit or something, if you know what I mean. I hope that doesn't sound too crazy. But anyway, so the second gig we did, I was like, I want to record these guys. So basically, we about a month later, we went in and we just played. And we improvised a lot, and we did some of my tunes that are kind of orchestrated, like The Past is Looking Brighter and Brighter. But then we did some things like Manic Depression, which was completely the Jimi Hendrix song. And we all have been listening to Jimi Hendrix since we were 12. And that song in particular, I always liked. But we did it free. And I wanted to, I thought, well, what's Manic Depression sound like? Instead of just going, and it's much different than that. But one of the tunes I think might translate well into, a good couple of good licks, because that's what you want. You don't want to hear my philosophies on manic depression. You want to learn a little good lick. And that's on the tune Nang Nang, N-A-N-G, which was named after one of my sister's cats, Nang Nang. And it's just this, it's got this quirky kind of bendy thing. It's like Thelonious Monk plays country or something. And it's like over this kind of rhythm. Anyway, one of the things I do, I use these 6 chords, and I hope you can hear this. Okay, so what that is, and I'll just kind of, maybe that sounds crazy. If you hear the, behind it, it grounds it. So that's just a C chord. Now, here's C that we know and love, right? And there's the C we still know and love. And here is speaking, I look at this as the Wind Cries Mary chord, right? Okay, so that's all it is. It's the Wind Cries Mary chord in C. Now, if you want, you can call it, C with E bass. Okay, instead of, and there's the full chord. Now, you add one note, and that's A. Now, it's starting to, my ears start to sound like a minor chord, like, and I don't want to mess everybody up, but it's not that, it's this. It's, that's the chord. And this C is grounding it. Okay, now, so I did, and that's kind of a steel guitar thing. Now, what that is with the right hand is that's hybrid picking, meaning you use your pick and your fingers, and I'm doing triads, and they're very concise. That's strings 5, 4, and 3 with a slide from the 4th fret up to the 5th fret. And it is strings 5, 4, and 3. People generally want to spread it out more. That feels tight, and you have to kind of do this thing where your fingers don't get in the way. It's like a classical thing. I know you can't, it's like that. It isn't all bunched up. And you don't pull. You do like a classical kind of thing. It's not that hard, don't be afraid of the word classical, Oh, I can't do it now, But, okay, so you do that, then same thing upstairs closer to the floor, okay? And that's middle and ring play strings 4, 3, and 2. Okay? And that's back to 5, 4, and 3. And that's just a C6. the same. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do... Now, I learned that off Buddy Emmons, Vance Terry, and this is it's a seventh chord, but it's not one that doesn't pop up a lot. You know, like it's not one of the first seventh chords or the second seventh chord or the third seventh chord. People do this. Those are the ones we do. But it's an F7. Now, I guess what's weird about this F7 is it doesn't have an F in it. But that's always the first note to go. I mean, guitar, we only have so many fingers and so many strings. And if you're going to get rid of a note, you get rid of the F. And this is the flat 7, E flat. That's the third A. And that's the fifth C. And that's the flat 7 again. And that's E flat. So we did, now it's over F. And then move it up a minor third. You can move it up another minor third if you want. Sorry. You just got to land on your feet. And on this I do. Which sounds pretty good. And that's again a 6. So if you can't find the 6, there's the C. Hopefully you know and love that C. You know this one. This is just the top part of it. It's like the F chord. But up here, and just put your fourth finger down on A, and you get the 6. And again, you could use this. It's all the same right hand. That's why I was so specific about it. But I don't do that, but you can if you want. And that's a 5. Okay, now the 5 is, and that's dissonant, but it's like, speaking of Jimi Hendrix, like a G7 sharp 9 chord, you know? That one. But it's just, I don't know, more interesting in some ways, because we've heard this for so long, and I don't think it's like the greatest voicing in the world. That's a little more interesting to me. And that's, maybe it's out of tune. I mean, I wouldn't play this, you know, for a wedding dance, first dance at the wedding. Divorce, that's a divorce song. But anyway, that's G7 sharp 9. And that's something I do on Nang Nang, you know. And that would be da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. And that's part of Nang Nang.